What's up, Taurus? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name is Annie. Happy to have all the Tauruses out there with me today. We are going to do your June monthly reading. The first half of this reading-ish is going to be career and finances. The second half will be love, romance, relationship, things of that sort. As always, welcoming all the Tauruses, or those who resonate with the sign, the cross-watchers, to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, knowing in advance not everything I say will be your message. Here in general YouTube tarot readings, right, it's up to you to come into this reading and be an active participant, to choose which messages you're going to take away here today, using your own discretion, your discernment, and most importantly, your intuition, right? If it feels strange or foreign, drop it like it's hot. Assume it's a message that's going out to someone else who needs to hear it. Pieces and parts of this will very likely resonate. I hope the whole thing does. Okay, guys? What else do I need to tell you? Everything else about this video will be down in the description box below, including the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media channels. I am the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram, as well as .com. I ask for you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can. That helps me a whole bunch. Helps this channel gain traction, helps it gain momentum. Let's see, you got lots of cards coming out. I love it. One more. One more for Taurus, Taurus and love. Also, I hope this video finds you guys well. I know there's a lot going on globally, nationally, depending on where you are, right? But yeah, I come at these messages with love and positivity. Gonna keep on keeping on in terms of giving the general public messages of spirituality, of optimism, of empowerment. That's what I do here. So for anyone who's willing to lend themselves or lend a listening ear to those messages, I'm here for you. So let's do it, Taurus. So regarding your career, you're making some sort of an assessment to travel towards something you're very excited about. It could be that you're curious about a job that would allow you to work with children. But it would require some sort of major transformation in your life and letting go of something that you're holding on to that has probably run its course or hasn't necessarily served you. And I think most of you are going to make the decision to work at something possibly new, or to continue to work on something that would bring you closer to this dream. Now, the Sun card is a card of happiness, of illumination, renewal, growth. It's sort of a card of rebirth. And what's interesting is you have both. So you have a card of Scorpio. This is the Death card. In general in tarot, it's a very good card. It's indicating that you're completing a major cycle in your life, and you can let go of everything that doesn't serve you and, again, move on to new beginnings. So it's saying there's still something you would need to walk away from, and it might just be the indecision, quite frankly, because what's transitioning you with the Scorpio Death card, right, is the assessment mode, Seven of Pentacles, the seeds that the seeds that I planted, will they bloom into flowers? On the other side of that is working like a boss, working like a madman. The Eight of Pentacles is sometimes what we refer to as like the artisan or the apprentice card. It's a card of perfecting your skill, working on your skills, your hobbies, fine-tuning your craft. So the transition, I think for a lot of you Tauruses, is rather than just thinking about it or considering how it could turn out, it's almost like jumping in head first and being like, well, one way to find out. I think what a lot of you guys are looking for here is certainty, or a guarantee that probably money, right? That's why you're watching career and finances, will be good or will be lucrative. Neither one of these cards indicate to me that money is bad. I think if anything, there's a bit of mystery about how it will continue to grow for you. Some of you may even be going back to school, or again, participating in something to sharpen your skills, your abilities. So I think a lot of you're being nudged in the direction of, ending what doesn't serve you, and what isn't serving you is just stopping and thinking about it. By all means, get your ducks in a row, get to a place where you're comfortable to move forward. But it's almost like you're waiting for more comfortability or more guarantee as you transition into something new. But that's the thing, is you've already heard the calling. You have like my Page of Wands, which for me is always someone who's, I'm sorry, Taurus, my camera froze there. So you have Page of Wands. Pages in tarot can typically be students or children. For me, this is sort of like before you become like Indiana Jones, like, you know, the master traveler and explorer and adventurer, you're warming up to the idea. It's like you're flirting with the idea of wands as forward movement. Wands also represent our passion, our faith, our spirituality, things that intrigue us, that excite us. The Page of Wands for me is a card of being curious, wanting to learn more. And what it's facing directly is the Sun card. So for a lot of you, this may involve children. Maybe you're thinking of starting your own daycare or something like that, right? If it's not that, and for some of you it isn't, it could be honoring the values of your inner child. What makes you as a person, Taurus, happy? What makes you want to sing and dance and, you know, ride on a horse and, you know, go through flowery fields? You know, in metaphor, it's like you're curious or flirting with the idea of getting more happiness in your life. And also because the Sun does represent growth, right? It's a crucial element to get nature to thrive, and you are an earth sign. It's saying you need to mix up the ingredients and like add a little more sunlight. So add a little more fun, add a little more creativity, add a little bit more enjoyment to your day. Because yeah, I mean, this doesn't indicate that you're necessarily unhappy, just there's an uncertainty or you're looking for more. What's going to get you more is, I think, just jumping in and doing it. And this could even involve a collaboration with a Leo or a Scorpio. These are two major arcana cards, so pretty significant, right? In terms of your funds, though, I mean, it doesn't look bad. This could also indicate leaving one job to go towards another that's going to make you happy. If that's the case, if you are applying to jobs and looking to, you know, pursue something with another company, this is saying to me you're going to have to work at it for a bit. It's not that you're going to instantly get, you know, the executive position. No, you're going to come in as, you know, maybe it's an intern, or maybe you're going to come in as, especially if it's more corporate, like, I hate to say it because it sounds so negative and it's really not, but more like bottom of the ladder. It's indicating you're going to have to work your way up. You're going to have to prove your abilities. But ultimately, this does indicate there's still significant room for growth. So maybe you're entering into a company where, again, it's like an entry-level position. That's a better way of phrasing it. Again, none of this seems positive, like you would have to take a pay cut per se. Multiple cards here indicate room for growth, room for you to kind of like step into your own or become your own person. It could be some of you are looking to venture away from something more corporate and do something more independent that brings you more joy. It could also indicate the next job you choose to do may involve travel. Both these cards for me, particularly the Page of Wands, like literally the 3 pyramids in the background, it could involve travel. It doesn't have to be world travel, though it might. But yeah, it's just the beginning of it, though. With the Page coming up, you're coming out of a cycle or in the process of coming out of a cycle, but what you're headed right into is more work. And again, that's not a bad thing, but I guess what this is saying, make sure whatever cycle or job, whatever position you're transitioning into in the coming months, right? These are messages Spirit wants you to hear in June. That doesn't mean it's all going to manifest. That timeline is entirely up to you. It is saying whatever cycle you're transitioning into next, make sure it is a labor of love, because that in itself will promote longevity. You will want to stay at a company longer if you are intrigued by the position, if you're excited by the role you're in. It seems like, okay, here's what I'm getting from this. And this sort of makes sense for my Tauruses too. You're in a job now where it's okay. It's not terrible. It pays the bills probably. With the 7 of Pentacles, it's decent. And so I think you're questioning, is it worth my walking away from this? But if what you're walking towards is the Sun card, to me as a reader, that would say, yeah, it's going to be good. What's up ahead? Again, there is some mystery. That's even what this card could mean too, because it is a card of Scorpio. Scorpios love a good mystery. Maybe you're channeling your inner Scorpio, right? As you go off to this next adventure, we'll go ahead and clarify it. But I mean, again, it seems like the work would be something that you enjoy. And if you're not even certain what that next step is that you're about to take, well, that's worth considering. What job do I ideally want to work in? What will bring me the most amount of joy? And if that joy is in itself tied to, well, I need to make this amount of money a year, that's fine. That's part of your master plan, right, that you're manifesting. So it's taking things into consideration more carefully, I think. Yeah, you have to go towards your passion. And there you are. Yeah, you're going to make a decision to travel or move towards your passion or incorporate more passion into your life, because again, that's going to yield better or more income, or it's almost like the income you're making, you're more proud of it because the work you're outputting, the income matches what you desire. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I mean, in terms of money cards, you got a lot of good ones. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you're passionate about your job, there's a sense of pride that comes from the work you're doing. I don't think that's where most of you are at. I think you're working hard, you're doing a good job. But honestly, with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, you're probably getting a little bit antsy. You're kind of like, all right, let's shake it up. Like, what's next? But it's almost like some days you're gung-ho and ready to do it, and other days you see it as like an ending. And here's the thing, you would have to end the job you're at, or you would have to leave the coworkers you love. But yeah, this is exactly what I was going to say. That's a false sense or a lack of optimism as you look towards your future. You're letting the negative thoughts overpower all the positive things that could come out of this change. Eight of Swords is living in like the self-imprisonment mode. It's like you've put yourself there because you are giving up your own power to the negative thoughts surrounding this, literally an ending, a transition or a cycle. Certainly you could view this through the lens of romance and a relationship. I'm not necessarily saying that, but what I will say, it seems like whatever this is for you, Taurus, it's running out of passion. And so universe is nudging you in a direction to go chase your passion. Even if you have to take a few courses, even if you have to read a few books and study up on it. Pages can be students, right? I think eventually, again, over time, Earth energy is very slow moving. If you put the work and dedication into it, well, you're going to make it rain. Look at that. King of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles, those are pretty significant money cards, so I'm digging that, Taurus. That's really what I'm getting. And then the Fool. Okay, the Fool card does indicate new beginnings. In the Fool's journey in tarot through the major arcana, this is 0, right? It's a clean slate. It's a fresh page. It's, nothing has been done or undone yet. It's just there. So it's full of potential. This is a card of extreme optimism, right? It's Aquarian energy. It's also Aries energy for me as a reader. So this is saying it's okay to take a leap of faith in a new direction, or in something that you do find more passion in, or something that you're just quite simply more intrigued to learn about. I mean, all these cards are indicating close out the old, look optimistically to the future. All right, so let's look into your love life, Taurus. So you got the soulmate card coming out, first and foremost. I like that. 4 of Wands, it's the 11-11 twin flame soulmate. If it doesn't have to do with that, for all my single Tauruses out there, this can be a card of milestones, of celebrations. I always say any 4 in tarot is kind of like the comfort zone. This is my favorite comfort zone card, though, because with Wands, it denotes more opportunity for growth. So this is an accomplishment. This is something to be celebrated. Again, a milestone in a relationship. So, I mean, if you are single, this is kind of a funny way of saying it, but you're like celebrating your singlehood, but also with this card, you're open to the idea of meeting your soulmate. If you are with someone, this seems very positive unless you're choosing to move away from someone who once was the soulmate. So let's look and see. Let's see what's going on with the rest of these cards. Some of you may be making an assessment about who you're currently with and wondering if they're your soulmate, or if you're wanting to go off in a new direction, explore passions elsewhere, right? Because, okay, this is what I'm getting. The person you're with, they are your comfort zone. They're very familiar. You know them. You like them. You potentially love each other. But what you're both desiring in this relationship is more passion. Maybe some of you are thinking about having a child, right? The curiosity of what it would be like to have a child, or a second child, or a third child, right? You've got things under control, but there is a desire to reach out and get more. So it could be that maybe, Taurus, you're looking to take something to the next level with your person, and you're not sure how that's going to land or how they're going to react to it. You could be dealing with a female air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a male earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you are single and looking, or the thing is, I don't know why I'm being called to say this. I feel like your job is more significant in your life right now. Like, you see more potential in that. So a lot of your time is being put into like constructing how that's going to look in your future. Some of you are oblivious to the fact that as you're moving towards your dream career, transitioning in your career, or, whatever, sorting out your finances, there is an air sign interested in you, and they're trying to get your attention, but you don't see them. You know, because you are earth energy, whether you are male or female, this is indicating you, that pentacle. The idea of movement in money, movement in your career and your education. There's an air sign, be it male or female, behind you, almost welcoming you in, almost like, hello, Taurus, like, do you see me over here? But I don't even think you might not even know who this is, or you may have written them off as a friend or someone that you're not romantically interested in. Or again, if you're already with this person, they're trying to get your attention for more affection, but you're not giving them the time of day because you're, I don't know, you're hell-bent on going after something else. But yeah, I mean, there's Three of Pentacles is coming up as there's room to build. The Three of Pentacles, it could be built on yourself, your mind, body, and spirit. But typically this is a card of collaboration. If you are in a marriage, sometimes this can indicate third-party activity. I'm not really getting that. This could be adding another to the mix, right? If some of you are considering pregnancy or having children or more children, it could be assessing what you've already built together and being like, okay, well, where does the next one fit in? I'm also getting downsizing though. The 4 to the 3 and the one who cuts. It could be that if you are sort of playing the field, Taurus, and you have options, you may make the decision to cut it could be an earth sign, and move towards maybe another earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn are my earth signs, or finally make an executive, logical decision on who you're willing to release in order to focus on building with that one person. Or it could be, Taurus, that you have multiple people, especially you're doing the dating app thing. It could be that a little date here, a little dates there. Like you may have 3 people or 4 people for that matter. That I'm not saying you're in a committed relationship, but maybe you've been feeling it out, you know, seeing how that plays out, seeing how this plays out, you know, nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. I do think you're coming to a place where you're wanting to make a decision about, there's something about more singularity or more, you're looking for your soulmate. I don't think you're looking to play around much longer if you were before. Could also be that you feel like some or one or a few of your people have wandering eyes, in which case you're going to make the decision to cut them. The one who's not giving you attention, right? Sometimes the energies go vice versa. So particularly if you're dealing with another air sign or an earth sign, you may have been holding on to someone, even someone from your past that you aren't currently with, that you always viewed as a soulmate, and you were willing to wait and wait and wait, either with little or no communication. I have to be honest, if that's your story, Taurus, a lot of you, there's the dawning of a new day. There's a something about the reckoning of something. I don't know why that word is coming up. A dawning of a new day. You see things with more clarity now, with illumination. And that clarity is that I'm not going to wait for you anymore. I'm going to keep moving on going about my life, going about my business. Because I got shit to do. Like I got people to see and places to go and businesses to build. I think a lot of you are going to stop waiting for the one at one point in the past you viewed as a soulmate, particularly a fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Yeah, a lot of you are moving towards, it could be a Scorpio or another Taurus as well. You have some Virgo energy coming up. You have some Libra energy coming up. Clarify. Yeah, so for those who understand the message of waiting on a soulmate, it's saying the soulmate you're waiting on may have been a karmic partnership. Your actual soulmate, your 1111, comes later on in the month or later on in the year with this person who potentially is serving as a client or a vendor or a coworker. Very likely someone you work with is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be employment work. It could be a hobby or some sort of like skilled craft that you're into that maybe you do as like a side hustle or just a hobby at home. Somebody who maybe gives you advice on, you know, they're constructing a church here, right? They're all giving their input. Something about that sort of dynamic, even if it's a metaphor, it could be networking through friends of a friend. You meet your actual soulmate. Now that's only if you are, you know, not necessarily married. Some of you need to move from the city to the country or vice versa. You've gotten comfortable where you're at, and in order to take this leap forward, it would require you to travel. And that may be what you're hesitating, because it would involve like moving a lot of heavy shit. So some of you may be resisting the change because it would take a lot of effort to do that. Yeah, you are very conflicted about letting go of a person. It could be a person of your past, or again, if you're dating around, it could be understanding that you really need to narrow your focus down to 1 or 2 people. Like you can't juggle like 8 people at a time, Taurus. Save some for the rest of us, Taurus. I'm just kidding. Yeah, you have, I don't know which way this message goes. I'm sorry, that's just not being specific to me. Either there's an air sign that has extreme passion for you, sexual desire for you, that you don't notice. It's like you're asleep at the wheel and you're not even recognizing that there's people interested in you or flirting with you, or vice versa. You have started to have extreme passion for potentially an earth sign. It doesn't have to be, or an air sign. But they're busy on their job, or they're just exhausted. They need to rest because they're not necessarily in a place where they're thinking about love. Again, vice versa, it could go too, but there is interest. It sort of feels like a little cat and mouse to me. You have the Knight of Pentacles, whether that's you or your person. When you go to bed at night, you pass out. You're exhausted because you are working very hard to accomplish something career related. It could be that this person is going to come in and offer to help you build this career of your dreams, or serve as, I don't know, a financial advisor, an intern, this or that. It's going to be someone you collaborate with in real life. That could actually end up being your new soulmate, or you know, marriage potential, right? I'm not saying immediately, but this can be a card of marriages too. So yeah, someone's juggling people though. Someone needs to make a decision, particularly about releasing a Sagittarius of the past. That could be what some of you are resisting letting go of. Again, the people who are meant to be in your life, Taurus, they will find their way back. You should never put your life on pause waiting for the soulmate from the past to return, because that's just not a healthy way to live your life. You have to proceed forward, right? And any avenues that are calling out to you that you're curious or inquisitive about, go after them, right? You have nothing to lose here. The Sun is a very positive card. Yeah, there's going to be small flirtations, small offers in love. Page of Cups, you know, love representing our heart, flirtations, you know, positive, kind energies. Sometimes it can represent apologies, maybe for those who are married and are maybe going through some fights with their spouse, right? This is saying small bits of apologies. If that's the case, if you are married, there is passion there on one person's part. The other person is distracted by something, and it's probably financial or work related. But I do like this. It's positive, but it's small. It's not the Queen of Cups. It's not the King of Cups. It's not even the Knight of Cups. It's little texts. It's little messages. It's a small phone call. It may be like a date, right? So yeah, I mean, I think, I have to be honest, I think a lot of my Tauruses need to whittle it down. I think you have options and you're determining who am I most passionate about. That's sort of what I get from your reading here. All right, Taurus, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye, guys.